stuck on increasing your revenue for 2026? On today's video, I'm going to be sharing 3 revenue expansion pillars that I am implementing to help me grow my income without the burnout. So 2026, I was journaling on my business. I'm turning 50 this year and I wanted to have the same result, if not better result, with working less. So I had this goal of working 3 days a week in my business and I just didn't know how I was going to create it. Of course, journaling on it after a few hours, I realized these 3 points that I'm going to be sharing with you. So the first point that I'm going to be sharing with you is stabilizing your performance. As a woman going through perimenopause, I'm going to be 50 in the next couple of days. I realize that I need to stabilize my performance. You know, we have all these hormonal symptoms that are part of who we are. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. Sometimes it can take us off the game, and sometimes we can really have all the energy to do a lot of things. But I have decided that I am not going to be a victim of my perimenopausal symptoms, that I am going to keep on choosing growth consistently. And because of that, I have decided to, work around my symptom itself. And working with your biology is so important. I always talk about this all the time. Working with your biology than ignoring it is the only way that you are going to increase your earning capacity. So sleep is also important. That's also working with your biology. Working with your sleep, eating healthy, cutting down the sugar, also working with your brain, and just doing all the necessary things that you need to do to be able to keep your hormones balanced. Those are the foundational things that you need to do. But when I talk about the first point here, which is stabilizing your performance, it's not about the hormones itself. It's about you really, really looking at the things that you need to do to be able to perform at your ultimate best for the days that you truly, truly want to work. So I don't know if you have the same desire as me, which is to work 3 days a week. But I know that I want to work 3 days a week and I don't want to waste my time doing the things that are not going to be income generating tasks. So one of the things that are going to support me with stabilizing my performance is to work through energy leaks. Working through energy leaks means what are the things that are taking too much of your energy? Perhaps you've been in business for over 15 years like me. You've worked with lots of clients. I've worked with lots of type of clients. Some clients are quite efficient. Some of them are just time draining and things like that. So for 2026, one of the things that I've decided to do is I've decided to qualify the clients that I get to work with. I'm not interested in working with clients that truly feel like they can take all of my time because they're investing a certain amount of time. I'm interested in clients that actually trust in themselves to take action, because the packages that I'm creating right now is result based. When I was younger, the packages I was creating, even though I was promising them a result, a lot of them were not taking actions towards their goals. And I was the one that was doing the things for them to help them achieve their goal. At the time, I was more of a personal branding expert. So most of them were not doing the tasks that they needed to do to be able to progress in their business. So I was the one that was doing the administrative part for their business because I wanted them to get the result. Now I'm not a personal branding person. I'm more of an income strategist. I can't do the work for you, basically, but I have to give you all the tips and resources that you need to do. And I have to trust that you're going to be able to take the action yourself. So the packages that I'm creating right now is result oriented, but you have to be accountable for the goals, or you have to be accountable for the action no of the result that you want to achieve. So this year I've decided to only work with people that are willing to move forward in their business, or are that are willing to take action in their business. And during I have this questionnaire that I have for my packages that I ask people about the past programs that they've worked on. And if anybody comes across and start to criticize the program, that the program doesn't help them get the result they want, or the leader, or the leader in the program wasn't efficient enough, or things like that, those are the people that actually don't enroll into my program, because I believe that we need to take responsibility for our results, not project it on the person that is teaching the program. Because most of us, we do teach strategies, but at the end of the day, you have to take action towards it. So when I'm talking about energy leak, I'm talking about getting rid of the clients, or not working with clients that actually drains me. I'm working with clients that are forward moving, that trust themselves to be able to get results, that trust themselves to be able to get the return in their investment by doing the work that needs to be done, not expecting me to be the one that is going to help them to get the result, because I can't get you the result. You have to take action towards your result. That's one of the things that I'm going to be doing, is removing energy leaks. Anything that is going to be draining my energy, I remove that from my business, from my business basically. Another thing that I'm going to be doing, which is also energy leak removal, is all the administrative part of my business. I've decided to outsource it to a VA. I have a VA that works with me for 4 hours a week. Now I've decided to increase her hours to 8 hours a week so that she can take over all the administrative part of my business. What I am brilliant with is coaching my clients, holding space for them, coaching them, of course, following up with them in Vortex, in Voxer or WhatsApp, following up with them there, but just holding space for them. I'm not really good with my calendar. I'm not really good with the email or with the Canva and all those things. Even though I'm good at it, I just feel like it's not worth my time. It takes a lot of my time. Even video editing, it takes a lot of my time. That's why I just record free form and I just edit it slightly and I just do the few things that need to be done and then I post it on YouTube. Maybe the next couple of months, maybe after I've done 60 videos, because I want to practice a bit more, I will be outsourcing video editing to someone else. So all the administrative part of my business, I'm going to be outsourcing to someone else because those are not income generating tasks. Income generating task for me is perfecting my sales skills. So those people that book discovery calls, I'm the one that does the sales call. So I spend most of my time working with that, improving my sales skill so that I have a very good close rate. Right now, I have about 40% close rate, but I would love to have at least 80% close rate and just focus on my client. So that's another thing that I'm going to be doing as well. Another thing that I've also noticed that I'm going to be doing to improve my performance is to notice my peak hours, the time when I have a lot more energy. I love to create content on YouTube. I love to create content on LinkedIn. I also like to create content on Instagram. So I have multiple platforms that I am using to generate clients. So I need to, instead of me just feeling like I have to do things at random, which I always do before, I just have to feel good to be able to do things. I don't feel like that's the best way to grow your business. The best way to grow your business is to identify your peak moments. For me, my peak moments is between 12 to 4 o'clock. Those are the times that I produce a bit more. So I have decided to put all my income generating tasks around this peak period so that I can perform well, so I can close the client, so that I can generate great content for LinkedIn, so I can show up for my video. Even right now, I'm recording this video. This is 2 p.m. and I feel absolutely full on, energized to be able to create this video right now. Whereas before, I was thinking that I should be creating my video first thing in the morning, and most of the time I just don't feel like it, so I don't end up doing it. So now I focus on putting all my income generating tasks when I have peak energy. So notice when you have peak energy, especially if you're somebody that wants to increase your income. So those are a few things that I'm doing right now to stabilize my performance. It's important that we know what would stop us from performing at our ultimate, especially if it's a woman going through perimenopause. We need to identify this period. So as you're going by your day, I want you to start to write moment to moment when you feel a lot more energized in your calendar. And then notice a pattern, because when you notice a pattern, then you can start to schedule your income generating tasks around this period. If not, you're going to have a scattered calendar full of activities that you're probably not seeing through, or you're probably delivering mediocre services around those times. And growing your income is about performing at our ultimate. It's about showing up fully for the things that actually move our businesses forward or help us grow our income. And if we don't show up for those moments, then we're not going to be able to do it. As somebody that wants to work 3 days a week, I need to make sure that those 3 days are going to be focused on income generating tasks instead of me just having to spread it. I mean, as I said, I was doing 5 days a week before, but now I have 3 days that are very productive days that allows me to deliver to my clients and also to move my business forward. So it's important that I identify my rhythm and also to optimize my performance so I can get results. But my main goal is to work 3 days a week and make so much more money. So another point that I'm going to share is we need to price and position our offer in a way that we can double our income or double our revenue. Last year, I worked with an 8-week program. It was 1,000 a month for about 12 people at a time. And the package was amazing. Even though I wasn't talking about money at the time, I was really doing the wellness aspect of perimenopause. It was such an amazing program. But for me, I noticed that every 8 weeks, I always have to look for 10 to 12 clients or 10 to 15 clients at a time. And I really didn't, it was just very energy draining as well. So this year, I decided to create a bit more of a long-term project or a long-term package that I'm going to work with maybe 20, not maybe, I desire to work with 20 women in that container for a year, but then have it highly priced. So highly priced, work with only 20 people that I can focus my energy on, that allows me to actually reach my income goal for the end of the year, instead of me having to be searching for clients all the time. Because at that time, after 4 weeks, I'm back in the game promoting, trying to enroll the next 8 to 12 clients into my next 8-week program. So it's a great cohort. It's the best way. It was satisfying last year. I was able to meet my income goal. But right now, I want to work with less people. at a high-end level, also be able to expand the rate or increase the rate of that package to be able to attract a certain amount of people or a certain type of people, also to help them get a certain type of result. So 2026, I decided to create a one-year program that I've started to promote, and I want to attract 20 people in that. With that, I'm going to be able to work 20 days a week. I'm going to be able to work 3 days a week, only with 20 clients. So it's about, so if you're trying to increase your revenue, you need to start to price and position yourself for double income or to for success. Without that, you're going to keep on creating the old pattern of before. And I had to dump everything that I had last year, which was the 8-week program, and move on to a 12-month program and increase the rate and start to position myself for a different caliber of people. So this year, I'm positioning myself as an expert, as a thought leader around increasing your income, increasing your capacity to be able to earn more, which is pretty much what I'm doing. And then looking into attracting the right people that are going to take action and get the result that they truly desire within that 12 months. And I also noticed, because I only want to work 3 days a week, I've realized that if I have it extended for 1 year, we have enough time to be able to work with a lot of things. So positioning yourself is so important. So how do you position yourself? You first identify as what you want to do. Do you want to do like a 1-year program like me, or you want to have a 3-month or a 6-month package like me? Think about whatever it is that you want to do, the type of container. Then you need to start to think of a problem that you can solve. What problem can you position yourself as solving? What problem can that be? So you need to identify the problem that your target audience want to solve, and then you have to create a solution for them. How can you get them from A to B? It's so important, because a lot of us, we have multiple programs. I used to have 3 or 4 programs. I had info product, I have a 3-month program, I have a 6-month program, then I have a membership, and then I had a retreat. And I remember I wasn't making much money. I was just overly exhausted. There was a lot of components in my business that I was managing. And then I had a bigger team, which was something that I had to manage as well. And I had to pay those people, and I had to work so much harder to be able to do that. So 2026, I decided to strip all those people, told them that I won't be using their services anymore. And then I just held on to one person. And now I have one package that I can run myself. I'm the one writing the content. We schedule all the posts, and then I do the sales call, and I'm enrolling the right people into my program, but also putting it in a price rate or price range that allows me to meet my income for at the end of the year. So I don't need all the overhead to be able to grow a business. I just need to have a structure that allows me to create the business or the income that I truly, truly want. So what problem can you solve? It's so important that you identify the problem that you can solve. Then you position yourself as the authority, have the person that can help them solve the problem, and then you create a package and offer that you can sell online. It's so important. Also, one thing that I've noticed is when you decide to increase your rate, it's important that you have the identity of the person that could charge that rate. Because a lot of people, they are charging rates that they don't believe that they can get, and they're trying to push against the grain. They're doing mindset work, they're doing all the necessary things that would help them to charge that rate, but then they're not able to sell it. So charge a rate that you have confidence with charging. Even though you want to double your income, if you don't feel good about charging a certain rate, don't go for it, because you're going to be sabotaging yourself. But push yourself a little bit with your rate, but don't overdo it. I mean, if you're somebody that can't charge, I don't know, 10,000 for a package, then don't do it. Just do what you can, because maybe after the 6 months, you can start to build on the result that you're able to have with your client, or build the confidence around delivering at that level, and then you can increase your rate as well. Sometimes we just need to have a backlog of waiting people on our list before we increase our rate. So don't push against the rate that you desire. I mean, don't push against a bigger rate. If you feel like you can't charge that right now because you don't have the embodied identity for it, don't charge that. Just charge a rate that feels good. Maybe you might have an income drip for a while, but then try and build momentum around the sales of that offer. And then by the time you know it, you have a wait list of people trying to work with you. And when you have a wait list of clients, you can also, you'll be able to increase your rate as well. So if you're desiring to increase your rate, which is the second point here, is you need to position yourself as a solution to a specific offer, and then put a rate towards it. This year, I knew that I wanted to make 200,000 this year, and I knew that I also wanted to work 3 days a week. So I said, okay, with 200,000, how many clients do I need to work with? And then I decided to not how many clients do I need to work with. I thought about what kind of price do I feel comfortable with charging. So I said, okay, 5,000 would be feel comfortable. And then I asked myself, how many people do I want to work with during this container? I realized that I only have the capacity for 20. That's going to give me about 100,000 by the end of the year. Now I'm 100,000 short. I get it. But I noticed that by the 6th or 7th month, After working with 20 people, I would check in with my energy and see if I have more capacity to be able to sell on with more clients to enroll into the same package. I either take on another 10 people that will carry on to the next year, or I'm inspired by creating an info product. I noticed that after working with those clients for about 6 to 7 months, I'll have more clarity on the package itself, and I might create an info product. And creating an info product will give me extra income without having to work so hard, right? So starting small and perhaps losing some money at the beginning, it's okay. I mean, of course, you want to be able to pay your bills. You don't want to lose at that end. That's not it. You want to be able to pay your bill. So I know that with 100K, I will be able to pay my bill. But I also know that I'm planning to re-strategize by 6 months to be able to boost my income back to 200K, because that's my desire. But I do know that at this time, I don't have the confidence to be able to charge 10K for the package, even though that will be the end goal by 2027, will be to be able to coach people, 20 people, if not more, within that container for 1 year for about 10 grand. Maybe I might have somebody like a support coach in there so I don't have to do it by myself. But right now, I don't really know how to create a package where I have support coaches and all that kind of thing. Right now, I'm just trying to create something for 1 year and see how it works. And then over time, I start to fine tune the offer so that it starts to sell out, or I can charge more 2026, 2027. So I'm losing money, not losing money per se, but I am not making my 200,000 per se. But I also have a vision to make it. But I also know that I am making 100K working less, which is 3 days a week. Whereas before I was making just a little bit over that and I was working 5 days a week. But now I'm working 3 days a week. I'm making 100K. For me, that is satisfying because I have 2 more days that I can perhaps do some market research and travel. And I also notice that when I travel a lot, I have more ideas that are popping up as well. So position yourself in a way that you can solve a problem that you can charge more for. So I always ask my people, I always ask myself, what is the $1 million problem that I can solve my clients? If you can identify that, then you can create a package for it. If you have a problem that you can't solve for $1 million, then don't create a package for that. Of course, I'm not charging $1 million for my package, but I know the pressing problem of my audience. And that's why I'm charging, or that's why I created it. And that's why I know that over time, I'm going to be able to charge 10K for this particular package to be working with me. So think about it. Ask yourself, what is $1 million package that you can create for that to solve $1 million program? If you notice what that is, and then start to write content or create video content or Instagram or LinkedIn content for this, and start to enroll people into that program, because that's what I'm doing for 2026. My third one to help you to expand your revenue without the burnout is visibility. Is to start to learn how to be visible. Because if you are not visible, you're not going to be able to maybe make money. You can't make money being in private. I mean, maybe if you have a 9 to 5 job, you can work from home or you can work in an office and you feel like you've already signed the contract or things like that. Let me just take a bit of water. And you have a 9 to 5 job, you secure the deal. You've been in the company for so many years, you don't have to be visible. To be honest, I feel like if you want to grow within your company, you still have to be visible. If not, you'll be stagnant for so many years. So you need to put yourself out there, even within your company as well. But as an entrepreneur, I believe that we need to put ourselves out there. We need to be strategic with our visibility. We need to know what we need to do to be found, to be able to increase our revenue. If we are just sitting still, just surfing the internet all day, I don't know, Googling, doing ChatGPT, we're not going to be found. We need to figure out a strategy for visibility. So for me, I'm stepping onto YouTube, doing daily videos on YouTube so that I can bring to build brand awareness. I used to do a lot of networking, but because I now want to work 3 days a week, I really don't want to spend most of my time doing networking. I want to spend most of my time actually going out there and meeting people, because I'm divorced right now. I would love to meet someone new. And I can't do that by just staying at home. So I need to be out there meeting people. I want to be going out with my kids. I also want to be hanging out with my girlfriends as well. I want to be exercising. There's a lot of things that I want to do. So because of that, I cannot be stuck at networking. So most of the time, I spend my time strategically building an audience. So being on YouTube is one of the best ways that I have started to use to build an audience. So I'm being visible, creating daily videos on here to build an audience so that I can have brand recognition. People can identify what I do, see if we resonate, and then register or enroll into my 1 year program. That's what I've been doing. So repeating the things that actually work. So if you're somebody that loves to be on LinkedIn, get on there on a frequent basis. Maybe you need to create daily posts. Maybe you need to create posts twice or 3 times a week. Whatever it is that you want to do, be very frequent on there. Be very visible on there, because you can't double your income without having a visibility strategy. I'm on YouTube, as I said, 3 days a week. I also like to create reels on Instagram. So some of the videos that I do here, I just put on Instagram and I try to build an audience there as well. So we need to have a strategy around visibility. We also need to have a clarity around our differentiating factor. We're not, I mean, we don't have to be totally unique, but people need to know what differentiates you from them or from the other people. There's so many people perhaps doing what I do, but because I'm showing up verbally, they can see if I'm the right coach for them. And whereas if I was just hiding up behind my computer, just trying to seek out clients without even having to engage with anybody, they're not going to be able to buy from me. So I need to articulate my own value. I need to articulate my own difference. I need to articulate the value or the benefit of working with me. So showing up consistently on your chosen platform is so important. Also, what I've noticed to be able to increase our income for 2026, which is such a beautiful way, is to create a category for yourself. Creating a category for yourself is so, so powerful. Like for me, last year, I was probably calling myself a perimenopause consultant. And I just, there was a big buzz around perimenopause and menopause last year. A lot of people were hiring, menopause champion and things like that. We also had a lot of menopause specialists all over the internet. We even have a lot of influencers that came up last year. And for me, I'm not a specialist because I don't have any science degree or doctor degree. I'm just a coach, literally. I'm just a coach. But most of my clients are going through perimenopause or menopause, and that's why I kind of move into that direction. I have I have a menopause specialist certification as a coach. I also have, I'm also a menopause ambassador, a champion as well. So I only have all those kind of things. I'm also a life coach as well. I'm an empowerment coach. There's a lot of things that I have. But then I realized that the whole market was just talking about wellness around perimenopause. And also a lot of people were talking about the challenges that are inevitable when it comes to perimenopause. So it didn't really excite me anymore because it was coming from a place of we are broken. And I don't believe that we are broken. It's just part of who we are, but we can always work with it. We don't have to feel like we're broken and we can't step up. And we don't have to be codependent on all the medications that they actually recommended. We can be on it, but still without the actions that we're taken to move forward, then we're not going to progress either. It's like you taking HRT and not exercise. You still gotta move. You still gotta move. You still gotta carry the weight. You still need to eat healthy. You need to take your vitamin for it to even for you to be able to operate at your ultimate. And if you're not doing the work, you're not going to gain the real benefit of HRT as well. So because of that, I realized that field was just not for me. And that's why I've carved out a new category for myself where I'm talking about perimenopause and earning capacity, because I want us to earn so much money, even at this stage of our life, because this is the peak of our career. This is not the time for us to slow down. This is the time for us to own our gift, own our brilliance, go out there and command the rate that we want, start that business, increase our rate, get that promotion, and do whatever we want to earn that money so that we can increase our bottom line. And I decided to create a category for myself. So now I've created a category for myself that I am dominating. It's slower right now, but I do know that over time it's going to start to catch up. So start to think of creating a category for yourself. If you want to double your income with less hours, you need to create a category yourself. You need to own it. You need to be visible around that topic. You need to own that voice. You need to be visible around it. As I said it earlier, you need to be verbal around it. You need to create content around it. You need to embody it. You need to really put your faith around that category. That anytime that anyone is talking about your topic, they recognize that you are the owner. And when they recognize it, you can charge whatever it is that you want because no one is doing it. Eventually, people will start to copy you, but you are the one that is the thought leader around that topic. So create a category for yourself if you want to double your income. So important, because when you create a category for yourself, when you say out your price, people will not have any resistance around it because they know the value that you're delivering, and then you know that you are the thought leader around that topic. So these are my points here that I have journaled on, that I am working on for 2026. We're only in March right now, so this is the time for you to do it. So I'm going to repeat it. The first one is to stabilize your performance. Notice your energy leak. Notice your peak moments, your peak hours during the day, and notice what those are, and put your income generating task around that. And anything that is draining your energy, chuck those out so that you have more time to be able to work on the things that are going to move yourself forward. Second is you need to position and price yourself accordingly. Identify a problem that you can solve and create a package around it. Own it completely, and go out there and be visible. The third one is you need to be visible. You need to have a strategy around being visible. Create a category for yourself. Own it, dominate it, be visible in all the platforms that you want to be visible on. I'm visible on a few of the platforms, but I would say that video is still the one that I am focusing on. On LinkedIn, I use it more for corporate. I like to get corporate clients, and I also do a lot of speaking gigs, so I use LinkedIn for that. I use YouTube to build brand recognition because people can do searches on my topic and then they can find me on that. And then Instagram is something I've always used before. You don't have to have three things. I would say you should dominate one. I am planning to dominate YouTube around my own category. So dominate a specific topic around your category on one platform. Own that platform around that topic, that if anyone is searching for an expert around that topic, you are the one that they can call. And if you do all these three, trust me, 2026, you're going to be able to double your income with working less. So if you love this video, I want you to subscribe. I mean, on this video, I do daily videos on this video on to support any high achieving women that is navigating perimenopause alongside their career, confidence, and earning capacity with the tools and resources they need to thrive through perimenopause. I do daily videos on here, so subscribe and get notified of my next drop. My name is Victoria Honey, and I help high achieving women just like you thrive through perimenopause. So I can't wait to see you on my next video. Also, I have a freebie for you. I want you to join me at the comments. I have a freebie for you called Income Expansion Review. Income Expansion Review. So you're going to answer the questionnaire, and on there you're going to see where your income leaks are and then what you need to do to grow your income. That's what I have in there. We have three categories in there. We have low, medium, high. And if you're medium and high, that means you have a lot of leak within your income. That's why you're not being able to double your income. And then I put some strategies in there to help you grow your income. So go over there into my comments, click the link there and enter your name and email address, and you have that assessment sent to you. So subscribe to my channel, and I can't wait to see you on my next video.